RC1 talked about inflation. This was a fairly straightforward RC passage. It talked about how inflation is high, it has been high, but it's likely to decrease. However, the author says that, okay, while it is likely to decrease over the next few months, that shouldn't mean that we convince ourselves that our problems are over, the inflation problem is over. Now, however, then the author gives reasons as to why it is going to come down. Okay, so because of the oil market, it was overshot till now. Now the price of gasoline is going to come down, right? Then also he talks about something called the bullwhip effect, that the bullwhip effect had caused supply chain disruptions because of which the prices were higher. But now those supply chain disruptions have eased, right? And the bullwhip effect is in a way going back, flicking back. Right. So he talks about these reasons as to why inflation is going to decrease in the coming few months, at the same time maintaining that that does not mean that our inflation problems are over. This is what the RC passage was about, fairly straightforward. Question 4. Based on the passage, which of the following views can be inferred to be the closest to that of the author? Okay. A, the inflation problem is largely over? Not at all. This is false as per the passage. So how can it be closest to that of the author's views? A discrepancy between supply and demand is likely to stoke means increase inflation. Okay, we will see this. See, when demand for a product increases, it is not possible to accurately gauge the quantum of increase. Okay, let's also keep this in the fold. D says a shortage of goods leads to price deflation. That means a price decrease. Not at all. A shortage of goods will lead to inflation, not deflation. So this is false again. Between B and C, what does the author say? That why is it that inflation will probably increase in the future? Has the author given us any reason? When the author says, okay, the decrease is short term in nature, but that does not mean that our inflation problem is over. Does the author give any reason as to why our inflation problem is not over, and why is there going to be a, like, let's say the inflation is going to increase? So this is something that is not given to us, that why in the future after the near term decrease it's going to increase. Yes, we have been given the example of the current pandemic scenario where there were supply chain disruptions and therefore a discrepancy between supply and demand, and that is why inflation increased. But that is just one instance that has been given to us, that during the pandemic this happened. Is the author going to generalize this and say that yes, this is likely going to happen, this likely happens? This we do not know. However, C is something that can be verified from the passage. This has been given in the passage in a way. See this. Let's go back and let's check this. So what happened in the uh, toilet paper example? Basically, people, they rush to buy toilet paper, right? Consumers, they're seeing a shortage, they rush to stock up. Supermarkets trying to meet the demand, they overorder. Distributors overorder even more. That means none of them is able to gauge as to what is the exact demand, the exact amount of rolls that are needed in the market. That nobody is able to gauge here, right? And that's why everybody is overbuying, overordering, every player, be it the supermarkets, be it the distributors, right? So this is what is happening. See, again here in this example, when this has been generalized now, what happened is that consumers overbought. Wholesalers and shippers in turn, they rushed to meet this demand, to be able to meet consumer demand, and they also overbought. They were also trying to overbuy actually. So this is what is happening here, and this, yes, is closest to the views of the author. The author clearly feels that it's not possible to accurately gauge the demand. Everybody is overbuying, right? Uh, that is why C is our answer here. This is something that is closest to that of the author. B cannot be verified from the passage, cannot be generalized and said to be the author's conclusion, right? So D, Delhi. Option C is the answer. Easy again.